Novak Djokovic's deportation case will be back in court tomorrow as his lawyers fight for him to stay in the country and play in the Australian Open. Julia Bradley is live from the Federal Court in Melbourne. Julia, what did this morning's hearings decide?
Well, Kenny, this morning's hearing at the Federal Court that was held at 10:15, that was mainly procedural. So they were trying to nut out all of those key details ahead of that hearing, which will take place at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Now, the judge was trying to work out whether, in fact, that hearing will be heard in front of a full court, so 3 judges, or a single judge. And we heard from Novak's lawyers they are in favour of that full court option, but the government is opposing it because it would make it more difficult to obtain an appeal. Now, yesterday, Immigration Minister Alex Hawke, he announced via a statement that Novak Djokovic's visa would be cancelled for the second time. His lawyers are trying everything they can to speed up this process and make sure that it's all wrapped up by tomorrow, hoping, of course, that Novak can play in the Australian Open early next week. We've heard plenty of reaction to this saga throughout the course of the past week, and today, right now, we're outside of Novak Djokovic's lawyer's office, where we understand he is being held at the moment, and then he'll be moved to a detention facility. We've also heard from the opposition leader, Anthony Albanese, today on this whole saga.
On the weekend before the tournament begins, after the draw has taken place, we finally have a decision from the federal government. Says it all. This has been a great embarrassment for Australia. It's one that could have been avoided. The rules are clear that you need to be double vaccinated in order to enter Australia, and we still don't have an explanation for how it is that the Australian government under Scott Morrison issued the visa in the first place.
Now, the Immigration Minister, the team representing the Immigration Minister, they are fighting this deportation case, suggesting that this was a decision made to cancel his visa based on public health and order. And on the flip side, Novak's lawyers, they are fighting the fact that they believe that decision was irrational. So we'll have to wait and see what shapes up in the coming hours, and certainly in that must-watch hearing tomorrow.
Julia, Serbia's president has also blasted the Australian government.
We've heard some scathing words from the Serbian president this morning. He's come out swinging against this decision by the federal government, essentially saying that if they didn't want Novak in the country or to play in the Australian Open, then they shouldn't have allowed him to come here at all in the first place. Let's take a listen.
If he wanted to ban Djokovic from winning his 10th trophy in Melbourne, why didn't you send him back immediately? Why didn't you tell him that it's impossible to get a visa for your country in the first place? Why are you harassing and persecuting him? Not only him, his family too, and the whole of his nation, which is a free nation and proud nation.
There are concerns that if Novak was to be deported, it could sour relations between Australia and Serbia, but certainly the Novak side not going down without a fight. They'll throw everything at this to hopefully see him stay in the country and play in the Australian Open.